Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. And keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, folks, here we are on Thursday, February 15th. We're going to take a look at Draftkings today. So with earnings coming up, I thought we'd take a look and see where it might hit some support or resistance, depending on if it booms or busts. I will preface this all by saying that it could also move sideways. However, if we look at previous earnings, we see the moves that come at or after earnings, and they can be quite significant. So I had a few levels in here that were already on the charts, and then I added a few out of the current bounds. The one that I added in was this gap here. So we have this gap that was left on this day when it jumped up a little over 7%. And so if it does come down and it loses that support at 42.29, I expect there's another support zone right around here. We might as well put that in because the chart is not too cluttered. So it's always just my worry of overly cluttering the chart with too many levels. But if it loses 42.29 and then comes down, I would look for 38.75 support. And if it doesn't, it sort of risks getting into that gap around 36.44. It would fill that gap around 35.53. So not so far away from the support level that we already have in anyway at 35.24. And then if it continues, I know this gets quite far away, especially percentage-wise, but we have seen some huge reactions lately. So if it does continue to fall, 31.85 and 29.45 may come into play. Now, if it jumps to the upside, the nearest in level that I have, and who knows, it may even close over this level, but 44.79 would be a resistance level that I'd first look for it to get through. It may just absolutely shoot right past that if it does get a big jump to the upside. 47.68 would be another level that I see up there, and then I need to scroll left just because it gets off of the chart if we stay in the current price action. But I do have these old levels up here at 50.75 and then 55.87, 64.52. So we'll see if anything in those realms comes into play, but we have had pretty good luck even on sort of huge reactions when something drops suddenly 10, 12, 20% or jumps to the upside the same amount that these levels have been holding fairly well. So I'm pleased with how those have played out in recent past. Now on the think or swim side of things, hopefully you can see this. We have the channel here. We have the histogram clearly flipping from bearish momentum dying down to bullish momentum picking up lately. Now it is up and out of the channel on the daily chart. So, one thing to consider is it has been pushing quite hard. So there's always the question that I have that is sort of a double-edged sword, which is, will folks feel that there's a bunch of good news or even on par news just sort of priced in? And if so, how will that affect their reaction to an earnings call, even if it is generally positive? The flip side of that, of course, is, if it's been pushing for good reasons, then the momentum that has carried it this far for an on par or better earnings call may just sort of continue on and carry it even further. So something to consider there, that it is up out of the channel and that it has pushed hard lately. Now the ATR levels on the swing trade setup that I have here, it has calls above 40.90. Obviously, we're well above that now. This first level here is about 43.92, and then the +1 ATR right now is situated at 46.88. As you see, it gets close to 50 over here when we flip into March, and then 52.41-ish to the upside over here. Now, if it does fall, obviously you have these levels as support as well, right? Like this 40.90. And then if it does continue to dip, this is around $39-ish, and then this has puts below 37.20, with the first level here coming in around 34.30, and then the -1 ATR level down to 31.22. So some additional levels and additional sort of view there as it pertains to the channel, but it has been holding really nice and strong and had a very brief trigger and then a fire here, and that fire set off a counter move to the lower bound of the channel, and then it jumped up. And like I said, it's been up out of the channel for quite some time. It very briefly dipped back in, but even the wick of this candle had action outside of the channel. And so if you sort of include that, it's been out of the channel for quite some time now and has continued to push. So we'll see how that sort of factors in and how that plays against the actual realities of the call and what's reported. All right, folks, I hope that your trading week has been going well. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.